Hello, welcome back to Unstable Podcast with me, Ricky Belshaw, and I'm joined today with Sam Serrano.
Hello.
Incredible comedian on the circuit. Thanks ever so much for coming, mate.
Thank you for having me, man.
I really appreciate it. It's worked quite well, actually, hasn't it, with the plans and stuff? What's
it's
happening?
worked perfectly.
Yeah, crash over at mine tonight. Touch Willies in the dark.
Oh, mate.
Yes.
Why in the dark? I want to see what I'm touching.
Are you a lights on kind of person?
I am.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not really fussy. I just take what I can fucking get. I'm going to be honest with you. No, it's good to have you. All jokes aside, really good to have you. Thanks ever so much for coming.
Nice to be here.
So you're gigging in Birmingham tonight?
Yes.
Yeah. What are you doing there, mate? Glee, innit?
Yeah, Glee Club.
Yeah.
After my monumentous death.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about this.
January 2021.
Yeah, because we were talking about this because I've just got in Glee and started doing the weekends and that. And I thought you were as well, but you had a bad one, didn't you? That
I had. Yeah, my first one was not great because I was I was booked in to do my first 20.
Yeah.
And my agent at the time was like, "Oh, you ready for this?" And I was like, "I don't think I am." And he went, "Let's just go do it."
Right.
And yeah, it didn't go great.
Okay. How bad are we talking?
You know what? Probably not as bad as I remember it being.
Okay. Yeah.
No walkouts. Just
cool.
a bit.
Just a bit flat.
Just a bit flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not what they needed for. Not what I would want them to see me do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was still like dead new. I think it was only like my 15th 20
Oh shit.
ever. Because I was quite slow to get into I didn't know how the industry worked.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, I was just doing open mics for the first 3 years.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
I was,
okay. I didn't know.
And then my agent was like, "You have to try and get a weekend." And I was like, "Oh, is that what I'm meant to be doing? I'm meant to be making money off this."
This is a job. What? I mean, it's not. It doesn't. We've had this conversation a few times on here that I don't think people quite realise how good you've got to be.
Yeah.
To get even £100 on a Friday.
Yeah, oh mate.
Like it's the standard that you're up against to get to that level of paid weekend work is insane.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You have to be top of your game at every gig. It's one of those where having a bad one can really affect.
Well, I didn't realise, you just said it was 2021.
Yeah.
That's how long it's taken you to get back in, to get a bit of trust with Glee, to do a 20.
Well.
Or to do another trial.
A year and a bit of that was me with that agent going, "Have you contacted Glee?" And I'm going, yeah. So I don't actually know.
Okay.
And no hate to...
We haven't mentioned any names. It's
no
fine.
one's.
Yeah.
And comedians who are screen recording this,
yeah,
don't send it to them. Yeah, I don't know if he was actually getting me in with them.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think you've said anything bad there. You just don't know what conversation was happening. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're in with them now.
I'm in with them now. Yeah, watch me have one of the worst.
I was going to say, don't mess it up tonight.
Mate, if I have a bad death now,
I will piss.
Oh, it'll be so funny if I completely fuck it up now.
Don't get me wrong, we're mates, and for that side of things, I really want you to do well. But at the same time, there's nothing better in comedy than watching your mates die.
Oh,
it is the best.
When you watch your mate completely fuck up a gig,
it's such a good feeling.
The best.
Like we've all had good gigs. There's a couple of comedians that I'll speak to on the way home from gigs and stuff, and I don't want to hear it if they've had a good one.
Oh no,
we've all had good gigs.
Yeah, because I know. I know Scott Bennett will always kill.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched him die?
No.
It's incredible.
Is it?
It's so good.
Yeah, but that's why every now and again it happens, and we're talking about I want to hear about the soul destroying ones that seriously make you consider driving off the bridge at night on the way home. That's what I want to hear about.
They're the best.
Yeah.
I had my best one of that was I was doing a charity gig, which they're never. To
be honest, I'm already imagining exactly.
Oh yeah, it was exactly what you imagine. And they went to me. They went
just for people who don't understand. Like with a charity gig, like people aren't there for the comedy, and any gig where people are not there for the main bit of comedy, it's going to be difficult. So if they're there for the comedy, for the charity, they're not there for the right reasons. If you go to a comedy club, you're there to laugh. You go to a charity night, you're there to raise money.
Yeah,
so they're just difficult.
Oh, this wasn't even raising money. This was the people that worked for the charity. It was like their corporate gig.
Oh no, even worse.
I wasn't getting paid.
You weren't getting paid?
No.
For a corporate?
Yeah. This was 2 years in.
Wow. Okay.
It was
bad.
Yeah. So they go to me, they're like, "Oh, we're going to have people from the charity talk first."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, okay, if you want to do it that way, sound." Which is never the best way around. It's always better to have comedy and then because otherwise it's just loads of people being like, "How good am I? I'm done such good work." And me going, "Dick jokes." It doesn't work.
Yeah.
So they went up and they were like, right, first up, we've got Joanne coming up to talk about all the volunteering she's done. So Joanne went on, so I talking about volunteering. And then they went, right, now we're going to talk to Leo, who has stuff about all his all the fundraising he's done. So fucking Leo went on and spoke about all the good work he's done. And then they went, right, now I've got James is going to come on and talk about all the PR work he's done. So James went on to talk about the PR work. And then they went, right, now we've got Sam. And then I went on, realised they'd not mentioned I'm a comedian. So,
oh, no.
Yeah. So they all just thought, they were just sat there going, this new guy who works for us is very fucking confident.
Oh, my God. Because I know some of your material as well. And I bet you were 2 years in, so it was even more raw.
It was it was bad.
Oh, no. How long did you have to do?
45.
No.
And I did
45 minutes.
Because I'm also like fucking thick. Clearly. So I came off.
Clearly.
I came off stage and they were like, what happened? Because they'd seen me at Hot Water do 5. And they were like, okay, great. And I came off and I was like, oh yeah, you didn't say I was a comedian. So I was just like, oh, I'm dying. I tried to do crowd work.
Oh.
Which...
That is so bad.
I think I'm the only person who's ever not worked for a company and so been reported to HR multiple times. It was horrific.
That is amazing. But that is wrong on so many levels. One, it's a corporate. Yeah. You're 2 years in. You shouldn't be there. Respectfully, you're not ready for that type of gig. They haven't described you as a comedian. You're the entertainment without being told you're the entertainment.
Yeah.
You're doing 45 minutes and not getting paid.
I was 17 as well.
That's horrific. So how many years ago was that? 3? How old are you now?
24 now.
21. So you started when you were 15?
Yeah, I did my first few gigs when I was 15.
Wow. How was that?
Well, between 14 and 18, I did 6 gigs.
You did what, sorry?
6 gigs.
I thought you said sexy gigs then. I was like, what the fuck? Why are you doing sexy gigs at the age of 14? You fucking wrong.
I want to get on this morning. I know what I have to fucking do.
Mate, there's a market for it. Do you know what I mean? He'd have definitely fucking snatched you up, wouldn't he? So how did you get into comedy then?
So I did drama. It was like my go-to thing. I was an actor for like proper like child like actor.
Yeah.
Because my mum wanted like when I was like young, my mum was like, "Oh, Sam's clearly on the spectrum.
Yeah,
let's get them into like drama. That it'll be talking to people. It'll be group activities. It'll be great."
Yeah.
And then my drama teacher was like, "You need to do stuff that is on your own, and you don't work with other people regularly." And I was like, "Okay." So stand up was just kind of the natural thing.
Just fell into it.
Yeah, and then I've just kind of had to get good.
Yeah.
Just out of like a necessity.
Yeah, just
because I can't do anything else.
Okay.
Like.
Yeah, no, fair play, and it's going well. So you're full time now, aren't you? Just do this, don't do any other work.
Full
time. You've mentioned obviously in conversation there. You said you're them instead of he or she.
Yeah.
So you're gender fluid.
I am.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I'm so ignorant to it. Very respectful and accepting, but very naive to it. So you don't identify as male or female, or does it change? Like what does that mean? Help me out.
It's just like being the idea of that. Obviously, I know like, I'm biologically male.
Yeah.
Like obviously, and yes, I don't like growing up. I always felt just like uncomfortable with being like, oh, you're a man.
Yeah,
do manly things. So I kind of it was just a thing of I never really felt comfortable with it, and I never it never sat right with me.
Okay, so
I kind of was just like. Then I first started hearing about it, I was like, oh, that's something that kind of resonates with me a lot.
So sorry to interject then. You've never thought that you're female either.
I've had
that's
those
what
times.
I'm trying to ascertain. Like, what does gender fluid mean? Are you sometimes a lady? Are you sometimes a man? Or are you just never anything?
So yeah, to me,
I'm trying not to be disrdisrespectful in my terminology.
No, it's Tom, man. I am. So yeah, the kind of way I always put it is like the whole, like the idea of gender.
Yeah,
it comes from a lot of like stereotypes.
Yeah,
which like the most obvious one being like, men play football, women wear makeup.
Okay.
I don't want to play football, but I do want to wear makeup.
Okay.
So I wasn't
You
quite
do look
sure.
much better with makeup.
My skin is horrific.
To be honest, no, I didn't mean that. I did some TV work with Channel 4 for the games, not this one, the one before.
Yeah.
And they put the makeup on me, and I looked in the mirror. I'm like, mate, I could get used to this shit.
Oh, yeah,
I look banging with makeup.
Mate,
I bang me with makeup on.
Always the people who have an issue with me wearing makeup are always the people that really needs to put some makeup on.
Bet, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's just what it is. And like this whole thing of people going, oh, they've decided that, like, we didn't make the whole stereotypes up.
Yeah.
That was forced on us. And someone just go, that's not that comfortable with me. So do you know where the whole like boys wear blue, girls wear pink? Do you know where that comes from?
No, I'm very naive to it all, to be honest.
That comes from a company a very, very clever company who were like, oh,
was it Benetton's? Or,
yeah.
I think I do know. But so tell me the story.
If parents had two kids, if it was a boy and a girl, they wanted them to buy different clothes for each, so they spent more money.
Right.
So we're going, oh, boys have to wear blue and girls. So it's just marketing.
Just marketing.
The start of it.
Right.
And that's kind of what was the reason for all. So yeah, I think it's one of those things where, like, certainly for me growing up, I think it's less and less now, but for me growing up, it was very much like those stereotypes were forced on me, and I just never was comfortable with it. So it's just the thing that, like, I'm much more comfortable now wearing the makeup, saying that, having the whole they them pronouns thing, and it is just me being more comfortable in my own body. That's all it is, really.
Yeah. Do you wear women's clothing, or has it always been? Have you ever experimented with that?
I have, I've experimented with it quite a bit, but it's so impractical. Like the pockets in women's jeans, have you seen? They're fucking tiny. You can't put your phone in them. So that was one thing where I was like, oh, this is ridiculous.
Right, okay.
And like the makeup for me is like enough for me to be comfortable.
Okay.
In it. But yeah, I've never really tried the whole women's clothes. I think if I found like a pair of high heels in my size, I'd buy them.
Okay.
Because
what size are you?
Size like 11.
Pretty sure they exist. I've seen some fucking monster feet on women before. They defo exist. Don't they?
I've had love for them. They're also just dead expensive.
Okay.
Because for like the only ones that are really in my size are for like drag queens.
Drag queens,
or like people from Swansea. And there's no real, like there's no real other middle for it.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, the whole clothing thing. That the makeup was enough for me to be like, oh, I'm comfortable.
You're comfy with that.
Yeah.
Okay. 100%. Cool. On that thing of sort of gender and stuff like that, and I hope you don't mind talking about this, but I think these conversations are quite good. Like, I'm so naive to it, and I genuinely want to learn, and it's nice talking to someone that, you know, is happy to answer the questions, because how else are people going to learn? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, and I think there is a thing people are scared to ask it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%, yeah. Even me now, we get on great, and even now I'm thinking, I hope I don't upset or offend.
No,
and I just want to learn.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and that's great. So I appreciate your attitude, to be honest. Sure. So like with the gender fluid thing, like it's obviously not directly linked to, but it's kind of associated with sexuality as well.
Yeah.
Are you gay? And I know you're not gay because you got a girlfriend.
Yeah.
But are you bi, or are you one way? You know, how does that?
I'm bisexual.
Okay.
Well, I've been thinking recently. I'm like, so there's bisexual and then there's pansexual, which is very, very similar.
Is pansexual where they say it's hearts, not parts?
Yeah. So like my partner Lucy, if I'm attracted to Lucy not because she's a woman, but because she is Lucy.
Because she's her.
Yeah. So I like that idea, but I've got to fucking explain gender fluid to people. I don't want to also explain. So bisexual is just the easier term.
The easier way.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but you would say you're sort of sexually attracted to the person as opposed to what that person looks like.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Like, but Lucy's thinking recently about being pansexual. Okay. Because I didn't quite understand it, and cause my partner, she's autistic as well, and she explained it to me, and like she explained it the worst way. So the way that most people explain it is, it's being attracted to the person, not just what they look like or what gender they are.
Yeah.
And the way she explained it was, it's like I am attracted to you, but not physically. And I was like, Lucy,
that's a backhanded
can we
compliment.
please? It's the first time I've ever been
I love you, but you're a fucking minger, Sam.
First time I've like understood where there's, the right wing people who are like, we've gone too fucking far.
We've fucked up. Yeah. That's mad. So I find to say I find that strange. It sounds disrespectful. I don't. That's the wrong terminology. But if I look at it from my point of view, if we're talking sexually, I'm very sort of visually. I'm attracted to form, to figure, to certain, if you want to call it shapes. Or I'm a very visual person, and obviously touchy-feely. So it doesn't compute with me, kind of thing, to be sort of sexually aroused by a personality.
Yeah, I think like I am I am also like physically attracted to Lucy, if that makes sense. But you must have met people who are physically attracted, but you can't stand being around them.
Yeah, actually that's a really good way. Some people that you just love to turn down.
Oh yeah.
They fucking know they're fit. And it's like, nah, you're right. I'd rather have a tug. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. Yeah, I get that. And then that's obviously in reverse as well for you.
Yeah.
So could you see an absolute munter, but if they're lovely, you could fuck them? To put it bluntly,
I don't think that's. I think that's just having no standards. I think that's something to do with.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's just wanting
still having
a gig.
That's still being genetically male. That's all that is. Yeah. What do you say? It depends who you want to gig.
It depends how much I want to gig.
That's fucking ace, man. See, I've just said it then, fucking ace, man. It's like but it's so easy to trip up in it, and some people would be offended by that. You're not. You know that it's just figurative speech.
Most people wouldn't be.
Yeah, okay.
It's an interesting thing where the only people I've ever seen go, "Oh, you assume my gender," are people online trying to be funny.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You see the videos online, and it's the ones that get loads of views and the ones kicking off. So that's in your eyes all the time. That's what you're seeing, and that's what you assume the community's like. But it's not. Is that what you're saying?
What we're like. No.
Okay.
We understand that, like, and I don't want to talk for a whole community.
Yeah.
But because I'm sure there's non-binary people who are like, no, I hate when people say that.
Yeah.
But like, if you, as a minority, and obviously being disabled will understand this, you can tell when it's genuine ignorance, or when it is bigotry.
Yeah, for me, like if someone says something and there's malice, if there's intent, like I've got a bit in my stand-up about the word spastic.
Oh yeah,
and I think you've probably heard the bit. The point of the bit is it's not the word that's the problem; it's how it's used or what comes before and after it. 100%. So if someone calls me a fucking spastic, I've got a problem. But if someone says, if like my doctor says you're looking a bit spastic, I haven't got a problem with that. So for me, in the exactly same vein, it's the intent of the word as opposed 100%. To the word itself. So is that the same there? Because that's how I assume it is with people, or how I'd like to think it is.
No,
but you
most
never know.
people, that's how it is.
Okay.
You get the few who are like, if they're that uncomfortable in the gender, then I fully understand where that would come from. I think most people are very, very understanding. Yeah. Obviously, if it was like if there were people who repeatedly said he. And I'm like, I know when, like, I know if you are trying to learn. Yeah. But if it's people who I can tell, like they put the emphasis on the he.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
They're just doing it to make a point,
There's some people who are like that. But yeah, it's a really interesting thing because I think it is a divisive thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very divisive topic.
Yeah.
And I think I think most people who meet, who have that hatred or have that disinterest in like non-binary and gender fluid and all that kind of stuff, it's because they've not met. So it's an alien concept to them.
Yeah. I got accused of being transphobic recently.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. And I say I understand why. I'm not transphobic at all, far from it, in fact. But we were talking, the conversation was going on about the about trans people in sport and competing there. And I've got a view, and I don't mind saying it, actually. So my opinion is I don't think that anybody should be allowed to enter a sport with such a physical advantage like that. And especially in sports like MMA, boxing, and stuff like that.
Michael Phelps has a larger wingspan than the average person.
Yes, absolutely. As well. No, so, and I get that. So I wasn't, so that's my viewpoint. I don't think anyone should have such a advantage. And my incredibly limited understanding at this stage is I believe, rightly or wrongly, that there is a massive advantage. But the way I even said at that point, but I don't know. I'm not a scientist. No. I'm not a doctor. And if someone can show me that that is not the case, and it's a similar advantage to the likes of Michael Phelps, or someone, you know, people who are genetically built for the sport, if someone can prove to me that actually that there isn't then I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
But because they just saw the fact that I was questioning it and went off on one, but I didn't say, no, trans people shouldn't be involved in sport. That's not my opinion at all. I just want it to be fair.
100%.
And if it can be fair, great, crack on.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to risk the health and lives of female athletes or any athlete.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? So that was
like,
my viewpoint on it. But because because I was questioning it, I got so much shit. So much shit. And it's a shame because if we can't ask the questions and talk about it and ask genuine questions, we're fucked.
Because the way as I know it in the Olympics is it has to be plausible that they could be biologically female.
It's sport dependent, but
like with the thing of there's trans people who they can't play chess against a trans woman.
Oh,
yeah, it makes no sense. Chess is not a sport; it's a fucking board game that identifies as a sport. Like, it's so stupid. But there is the thing of that the whole sport. Like, it's not an easy thing to solve, and it's not going to be solved.
It's not going to be solved overnight. But there's so many questions like reaction time and bone density. And like for the powerlifters, for example, people were going on the male powerlifters use a 20 kilo bar, whereas the female use 15. So if a male hand is wrapped around that bar, they've got an advantage. And yes, these are physical advantages, but the same sort of advantages that someone would get if they were just naturally a little bit bigger. So I've got
that boxer.
Yeah. So if it can be done fairly and someone can explain that to me, or if maybe it's not, maybe we haven't scientifically got those formulas yet. I don't know. So I'm cool with it as long as everyone's on an equal playing field. Like, I'm dead against
100%.
drug cheats. I've got, like, shouldn't fucking happen. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and I just don't see that different. As I say, to my very limited understanding, the physical disparity is huge. But if that's disproven to me, then I've got no problem at all.
Yeah, it is just like some people online with the whole trans people in sport thing make so many bizarre. But it's my favourite is when they go, oh, they're at a huge advantage. They should have their own Olympics. And you're like, do you know how much of an advantage they'd be being the only person in the race? There's not that many.
Just stick them in the Paralympics. Oh, that's going to get clipped, that isn't it? Ricky Balshaw thinks trans athletes should compete in the Paralympics. Oh, fuck. Have you ever considered doing sport or anything like that? Were you ever sporty at school or as a youngster?
Not really. So I have like an issue with my kidneys, or one of my kidneys is in the wrong place, so I couldn't do any like contact sport. Okay. Which obviously doesn't stop me dad when I was younger. But you got to, playing rugby is not
I've just had this vision of you having a fucking sign on your back, bum with care.
No, I was never really sporty.
No.
At all. No, I used to have a bit about it on stage where I'd like pretend I was sporty.
Right.
And then pretend because I played football. In school.
Yeah.
And my nickname when I was playing football was Suarez.
Right.
But not because I'm
used
really
to bite
good, just because I
people.
bite men.
Yeah.
That was the bit I used to do on stage, but no, I've just had no interest in it.
No, fair enough.
It's one of those like, if I sit and watch it, I can get into. I'm like, oh, it's interesting. I can see the appeal. But there's just stuff I prefer.
Yeah, fair enough.
What I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Just going back to the whole gender fluid thing that we were talking about, how obviously parents are from a different generation. How have they been with that and your sexuality and your gender?
Pretty alright with it. I mean, I don't know. I've not spoken to my dad since I was 7.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I don't know.
Sorry.
Oh no, I don't know his whole. He's very weird, man.
Okay.
But yeah, I from what I remember,
I mean, maybe that's genetic.
There
was no need for that. That was such a fucking kidney shot. I didn't mean that either. Oh, fuck. Oh, go on, carry on.
Guy. Mum's fine with it. I mean, she's when I told my mum that I want to start wearing makeup, her only comment was, as long as you take it off before you get in bed, so I don't have to do more washing, that's fine.
Oh, so just practical. Yeah, great.
It was just absolutely sound with it. As long as I don't identify it as fucking giving her more fairy liquid to use, she is absolutely
can deal
sound.
with that.
But yeah, most people now are sound with it.
Yeah.
The majority of people. You meet every now and then, you'll meet some.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's my family are fine with it. I mean, but we're also like, I think all my cousins are queer. Or like the vast majority. It's like
when you say queer, because that is part of the LGBTQ thing now.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Again, my complete naivety. I'm not being disrespectful. What defines queer? What's queer compared to gay or bi?
So
what's the difference?
I use queer as like an umbrella term for everything.
Okay.
It's like if I'm like gender,
so anything
bisexual,
that's not straight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much. Something that's not straight and cis.
Right.
I'm calling it queer.
Okay. Yeah.
There's like the queer community. So there's like Monopoly, chess. They're all board games.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But they come under the same bracket.
Yeah. Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah. That makes sense. Well. So let's talk about. So what sort of challenges have you had? Like, we have much bullying at school or growing up with you?
I was never bullied at school.
We not.
Really? Of course I was, Rick.
Yeah.
No, I think I kind of hit I think with some schools, it's like bullying them is like too far.
Yeah.
And I think I was that. I was very I was very much in my own kind of world in school.
Sorry, what do you mean by that? You've lost me a bit.
So like, the
bullies looked at you and thought, "Nah, that's too far even for me."
Yeah.
Right, okay.
That's kind of like it would be like
that's too easy.
Lines.
Like,
yeah. I kind of never really had it
right. Okay.
badly.
Yeah.
And I think even if I did, I think I was just too thick to notice it was happening.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I was very much kind of because I did like the drama and stuff. There were a lot of people who were similar to me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
See, I never really had it that badly.
Okay, that's good.
I had like the odd comment here and there.
Yeah.
No, it's never never to like the point I think people expected it to be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even like my mum when I started school was like, this might happen.
Yeah.
Never really happened.
I had the same talk when I went for my first day at secondary school. My dad sat me down and give me the talk.
Yeah.
Probably different to the talk my brother got. My brother probably got the chat because he boxed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I just know that, I don't know for a fact, but I'd bet my mortgage that my dad sat him down on the first day of school. It's like, don't fight, don't be a dick, da-da-da. Whereas the talk I had was, look, if someone says something, you fucking kick off, da-da-da-da. Yeah, I think we had very different talks. So your mom give you that chat as well, did she?
Yeah, she did. It was because I think going in, I was still very naive of like, everyone's going to be nice. Not quite the case.
Not quite,
but,
no.
Yeah, I also I went to quite, not like posh schools.
Right.
But for my secondary school, our assemblies were held in the cathedral.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
But it's and it wasn't like the poshest school ever, but there was enough.
There was elements
space where you could go somewhere else.
That's cool. I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I was very much I'm very introverted, so it's one of those that you can only really be no bullying's happening if you're around people. But I was actually let's try and be on my own.
Right. Okay.
You know what
I mean? You were happy in your own space, doing your own thing.
Always. Yeah. And I think I've always kind of been more like that.
Did you have many friends at school? Did you have a friendship group, or were you a bit of a loner? I don't mean that as it comes out.
I had my friend Izzy, who I'd been mates with for years, and then if I'd hang out with them, I'd hang out with their group. That makes sense. Yeah. But I was also very much I was very much writing scripts on my own stuff and doing that instead. I was much more. I'd much rather have time being creative and stuff on my own than hanging out with people.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. You spoke about your dad then. You'd not seen him since you were 7. Are you happy to talk about what happened there? I don't want to make you talk about anything you don't want to.
I'm absolutely sound.
What happened there?
So my dad's was abusive to me growing up. And he was.
Can I ask, was it physical or mental or both?
Bit of both. I think it wasn't.
I don't ever want to overstep the marks. If you're never happy to talk about anything, just do speak and we can edit out or
mate, honestly, it's not the way it's you overstepping things. Isn't going to go badly ever. So it was physical towards kind of
just careful with the mic
end
stand.
of it. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, no worries.
Careful towards the end of it. It got a bit physical, but it's mostly the mental stuff. But it is kind of an interesting one because it's I was born over in Spain and he's Spanish. My mum was over there teaching. Okay. Then we moved back over here. So it's I always think it's very impressive that you found time to abuse me and do those siestas.
Absolutely,
it's only 4 hours a day that comes to having a nap.
Real effort went in there, didn't it?
A very time efficient abuse there. Yeah, last time I saw him, I was meant to go over to Spain with him for like 6 weeks.
Right, okay.
Which I'd never
Through
spent.
the summer holiday, like?
Yeah. I'd never spent more than like a week there. So it was too much.
Yeah.
And yeah, they didn't let me on the plane because I was kicking off.
Right.
And I was like, I don't want to go with this guy. So they were always like,
oh, wow.
This man's
Yeah.
grooming this child. And he was like, no, it's my son. We just don't have a good relationship. And then
you were what, 6 or 7 at this point?
Yeah, I was about 7. And then the police were obviously called and they were like,
wow.
You have to be escorted onto the plane. And then I was taken home. And before my dad got on the plane, he was like, right, you either come with me now or you're never seeing me again. And I was like, sounds.
Bye.
See you in a bit then.
Wow.
And then I'll occasionally get a Facebook message off him. In the next break, I'll go get the message because the messages are fucking mental.
Yeah.
Well,
this is the last section now. So if you want, yeah, well, it's all right. They'll have to go over to Patreon if they want to watch that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go to Patreon. If you want to go show you how fucked up my dad is.
Yeah, we'll get the break on, then we'll restart Patreon. It's patreon.com/unstablepod. The first 1,000 patrons are only £1. It's only £1 a month. That's they can pay £1, can't they?
Can't even pay £1.
You tight bastards.
Pip isn't that much.
Yeah, exactly. I need extra pip payment. No, it's just £1. Sign up. It's £1 for life. And you can read his abusive messages off his dad. You know what? On Patreon, we'll screenshot it for you.
Oh,
we'll screenshot them.
On Patreon, we'll get my dad in.
Yeah. We're going to FaceTime his dad. That's what we're going to do on Patreon. So sorry. Little quick plug then of the Patreon.
So yeah, he was. It's one of those. I think he was just. I don't think he's a bad person.
Yeah.
But he didn't do great shit.
Do you think he would have? Was he just an abusive person, or was it because of obviously you've got a few disabilities that we'll get onto in a minute?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it was because you were disabled, or do you think it was because of your gender? Or I mean, you're only 7 at the time. I don't know when you came out, so to speak.
I was like 18, 19 when I came out.
Right. Okay.
But like the signs were there.
Oh yeah, I don't imagine you as a butch child.
No, not at all. Yeah. I'll show you a photo of me as a kid on Patreon, and you'll see.
Oh yeah, we'll post that on the Patreon as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So he wasn't a bad guy. He's just we had very different ideas.
I think that's very forgiving of you, really, because it would be very easy for someone such as yourself who had been abused to whatever extent to be quite bitter. So for you to sort of sit there and say, actually, he's not a bad person.
No, I think he's a cunt.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But I don't think he was doing it on purpose.
Right.
You know what I mean? I
don't know what you mean.
I don't think he'd go, oh, I want to abuse my kid.
Right, okay.
And I think if I was like, this was abusive, he would go, oh, shit.
Okay.
They'll probably do it again.
So you think it was just how he was and he just didn't have the time and patience?
100%.
It's just the way.
Because like in Spain, it's a different upbringing. They're very strict.
Yeah.
It's very kind of like, if you're in Spain, you will see people just shouting at each other in the street.
Right. Okay.
So like that kind of.
I've only been over once. I didn't see any of that, but it was very touristy where I was. Yeah.
So Spain is it's fast. I love it as a place. And me and Lucy went when we were doing Newcastle Stand last week.
Yeah.
We went
little drop there, little plug, little fucking boop. Sweep that up later.
we went to a Spanish breakfast place.
Yeah.
And we had a look at the menu and Lucy was like, oh, what's all this?
Yeah, what is it in a Spanish breakfast?
It's just normal.
I was going to say, food. Like, what?
And she asked the waitress, she was like, why does this make it Spanish? And the waitress went, oh, it's cooked with loads of passive aggression. I was like,
I love that.
Exactly sums up what Spain's like.
That's really good. Was she Spanish?
Yeah,
Spanish. Great. That's excellent. That's funny.
Spain's a beautiful place. I've not been back.
Have you not?
No. I think there's still I think I'm going over to do gigs in Malaga.
Yeah.
Sometime. She's gonna work that out.
Yeah.
That'd be my first time going back to Spain.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I went on a stag do in Barcelona.
Oh, nice.
And it was great.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, but very touristy. So I didn't see any of the stuff that you've just mentioned there. But
yeah,
at the time, I remember saying to the lads, like, this is the place you can come with a group of lads and have an incredibly laddie time and do X, Y, and Z. But then you could take your girlfriend there and have just an amazing experience, but in a completely different way. It's an amazing city.
Oh, it's
amazing city. Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I digress now. So. Obviously, I've mentioned you got a few disabilities. Kabuki syndrome.
Yeah.
What is that? Like what is it? What are the symptoms or ailments that you have?
So there's physical aspects of it, which if you look at my eyes, they're kind of slanted downward, which is where it
I just thought you had a bit of Asian descent.
Well, that's where it gets the name from.
Oh, is it? I did wonder.
Yeah, so kabuki is a type of Japanese theatre.
Right.
Where they wear masks, which accentuate.
Oh, yeah.
So loads of kids
they almost look like caricatures, don't they?
Yeah. So loads of kids are born by disability. And the guy at the name just like, these pricks look Japanese.
That is amazing.
Yeah. So
I just thought it was Dr. Kabuki.
No, it's so yeah. There's the eyes. I'm really good at chopsticks.
Yeah,
I can make really good trainers.
Nice. And I really love anime.
Mate, you just see me Hello Kitty lunchbox.
Yeah.
Is that racist?
Probably.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah.
No, there's like there's the physical. It's like I also like sleep with my eyes open unless I'm like I'm going to sleep now. Close my eyes. Yeah. Like there's been times where mate, it's awful.
Yeah, that'd freak me the fuck out.
There've been times where I've been on like public transport and I've fallen asleep and people have thought I'm staring at them.
Thought you were dead.
Yeah. I've had a driver come over and be like, excuse, I had to wake up. And he went, yeah, sorry, we had complaints because this woman thought she was staring at you.
No way, that's amazing.
So it's also unfortunate that I wank in my sleep as well.
Yeah, that's not going to help matters, mate. Yeah.
I sleep with my eyes open.
I've got a habit of focusing on boobs and wanking in my sleep. Yeah. Gonna get on a fucking list, you are, mate.
There's also the showing autistic like symptoms in stressful situations.
Right, okay.
But then I've also got fucking anxiety, so life's a fucking stressful situation. Yeah. So I think that's just manifested.
If I looked like you, I'd be stressed out as well, mate.
Exactly. Life to me is like you seeing some stairs. That's how
mate,
stressful
nightmare.
it is.
Yeah, that is stressful. Like if I was a super villain, stairs would be my kryptonite.
Yeah.
Like, stairs are my enemy. Like, I'm like a Dalek.
But you can do them.
I'm just slow as fuck, mate. Yeah. No, I can do it.
It's like you know, like in the old episodes of Doctor Who, when everyone's like, "Oh, the Daleks can't do stairs."
Yeah.
They managed to actually do them.
They do. It's like shit. Yeah.
Go on, Ricky.
They got a triangle wheel on it. Fuck yeah. When I get cold, so like if I'm cold, like my muscles go even more spacky and cold. And you know that scene in Terminator 2 where the liquid metal gets a little bit frozen. They used to call me the T2000 at work, so I'd move like a fucking frozen Terminator. Horrific. Kids are. I mean, that's quite a good insult to be fair. They used to call me Pingu as well, which I think is fucking funny because of the wobble. Yeah, it's great. So anyway, we could talk about me. Let's talk about you. So this Kabuki syndrome, it affects your eyes.
Yes.
And autistic-like
stuff like that.
Autistic-like behaviour, is it?
Yeah. And then I've also I'm on the waiting list for autism and ADHD.
Right. Okay.
And
of course you are. You're a comedian.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
We have to have ADHD.
Yeah,
at this point.
Exactly.
A dodgy hard drive.
Yes.
What else? Oh, I was born in meningitis.
Okay.
As well. Yeah, so if you see, you might not be able to see it because my hair's quite long. See the scar?
Yeah, I can see a scar there. Yeah.
Right over.
Oh, shit.
So when I was born, they were like, oh, this cunt's got meningitis. And cause it was
when you were born, they said, this cunt's got meningitis. Is that how the doctor worded it to your mom? This cunt's, fuck, you may just drown him. Mate, look at his eyes. His dad, you say his dad's Spanish? I think not, sweetheart. It's Kabuki syndrome. Fuck off. His dad's Japanese. And a Japanese milkman. Fuck off. What's your mom's name?
Well, they're very well hidden, aren't they?
Yeah. No, sorry, Cameron. You had meningitis. This cunt's got meningitis.
I had meningitis. Now I've got meningitis. Come on. I had meningitis. I was over in Spain when I was born. They were like, "Oh, Sam can't." They didn't let my mum see me for a bit,
right?
For like the first 3 because they were like. They didn't want my mum to get attached and for me not to make it through the night.
Oh, sorry. I thought it's okay. I was going down a different vein then because I know a guy who was born with a condition called argogrythosis. So his muscles in his arms and legs form like scar tissue in the womb. But when he came out, he came out like shoulder first or sideways.
Yeah.
And he had a big pressure mark down the side of his face. He was all deformed.
Yeah.
And they locked him in a broom cupboard. They wouldn't even let him be with the other babies on the ward, and they wouldn't let his mum see him for 2 days because of how he looked. I thought that's where you were going with that then, but they just didn't want her to get attached to you in case you didn't make it.
I mean, I've had a similar thing of being in a broom cupboard.
That's probably for very different reasons, mate.
Well, I've just been in the closet for ages.
Yeah. High five! That was such a disabled high five. That was it. That was fucking shite. Let's do that instead. Yeah.
Yeah, they wouldn't let my mum see me. And then she like stayed outside in the car until the hospital opened, and and she went in, and obviously all the doctors spoke Spanish.
Discharged your mom, kept you in.
Yeah, they were like, you have to wait.
And then she came back.
Came in the next day and was like, I need to see Sam Serrano. And the woman didn't speak any English.
Or she claimed not to.
What you mean.
So your mom spoke to her in Japanese. Oh, yeah, we know that one.
They brought over a doctor who spoke like broken English.
Yeah.
And my mum was like, I need to see Sam Serrano. And the doctor like typed my name into the system and then looked at my mum and went, oh, I'm really sorry, he's not with us anymore. And my mum burst into tears. And this woman just went, he's been moved on to a different ward.
Oh, man. Oh, no. Fucking hell, that's terrible. I mean, that's hilarious. Yeah, but in hindsight, it's hilarious.
I started doing it on stage and I had this woman go, oh, we thought you were dead. Like, I'm fucking right here.
People are thick as fucking yeah. The ghost of Serrano's past. Christ, that's mad.
Explain why I'm so pale.
Yeah. So your mum eventually got to you and saw you, and then
but yeah, it wasn't like an easy birth, and I had like health issues afterwards. But like because when they need to like take the meningitis out, they had like a specialist. Like it was very rare you get a specialist in cubic syndrome meningitis and stuff.
Yeah,
my dad didn't want me to see him because he didn't like the guy's mustache. And my mum was like, "You're being a fucking idiot."
That's
like,
the reason why your dad didn't want you to see the specialist, because he had a pedo mustache.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I respect your dad for trying to protect you there, if I'm honest.
Yeah, but like, if it's between your kids, like, I'm taking the piss. Yeah. Or your kid gets saved, but he gets nonced. Would you rather have a dead kid or a kid who just can't go near doctors?
I don't know, it depends how bad the noncing is, because there are some punishments that are worse than death. Do you know what I mean? I'd have to ask that. I'd have to fucking think about it, to be honest.
What level of nonsense do you think you just like held it?
I know
that held my bollocks for a bit, but
that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Just a little ball.
Would be like,
little ball tickles, all right. But I don't think like.
What if he put his mouth on it? Do you want to stop this conversation?
Yeah, let's stop this conversation because this is going on YouTube. And,
and you know what? We were on Patreon already.
I think, you know what? I do think we should stop this conversation because I've just figured out where I think the cutoff is, and I don't want to divulge that information. Because I now know what my answer is. So yeah, we'll fucking leave that. We might talk about it on Patreon. We might fucking not, because it's very easy to screen grab shit. So your dad didn't want you to get nonce, wouldn't let you see the pedo moustache doctor.
Yeah,
but eventually my mum was
caved
in.
Fucking, I don't think he did. I think my mum was
finger him, doc.
You have to see him. And then we moved up to the UK and it was much better. But yeah, the disability bit is like, because I think people, I think I always get called like a queer comedian.
Yeah.
I'm so much more disabled than I am gay.
All right.
Like, I fuck up social interactions way more than I suck cock.
Yeah, because I was going to ask, that's great. I was going to ask, like, sort of, because the word disability means you're disabled to do something.
Yeah.
So what do you struggle with? What are the things that you can't do as an able-bodied person?
So
for me, it's like the triple jump.
Yeah. For me, it's the social situations. I don't think people realize how bad I am in social situations until they have to like spend a lot of time with me, and they're like, "Oh, Sam can only hold a conversation for a certain amount of time." If there were three,
you're doing well here, to be fair.
If there were three people, if there was like another host, or another guest, I think I'd struggle.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
It's that bad.
There's episodes of podcasts where it was two hosts and two guests.
Yeah.
I was one of the guests, and I was pretty much silent.
Like another one and stuff like that. Yeah.
It was another one. If you go watch my episode of another one, that's being sent to my autism diagnosis.
Right, okay,
They're like, it's just one of those where I just say like the wrong thing all the time, and it's like the social anxiety thing.
So when you say the wrong thing, as in you just get, you sort of drift off in your own head, or anxious, or say an embarrassing thing, or what?
Yes, like I build up those situations in my own head.
Right, okay.
Of like planning out what I'm going to say. Yeah. It's like I went to, the worst it's ever been is I went to a concert and like, I queued up afterwards. It was the first concert I've ever been to, and I love concerts now. I go to them all the time.
Yeah, we spoke about it before.
It was like concerts. I was like 17 when I went to my first one, because I was so like worried I didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah,
Which sounds weird, but I was like,
no, I get it.
Bizarre. I was like,
to be honest, I was as well, but my worries because of being knocked into and the crowds and stuff like that. So it was the physical thing, but I understand the anxiety there from a different angle.
Because my partner's disabled.
Yes,
we're going to see Sabrina Carpenter. Mate, I didn't realise I got free tickets.
Oh yeah, you get free carers in everywhere, mate.
Oh mate,
cinema,
fucking
done the cinema yet?
No.
Always get a free carer at the cinema, mate.
Oh mate,
yeah. Every day's Orange Wednesdays, mate.
It's so fucking.
Remember
good.
Orange Wednesdays, mate? It's Orange fucking Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday for this guy here. You know what I mean? I used to avoid Wednesdays because I didn't want to be the same as everyone else.
You going to Wednesdays hacking it.
Yeah, it makes me cringe.
There was.
I went with a disabled guy the other week. I've got a good friend of mine, Lee, will be on the podcast at some point, and we were arguing over who's going to get the carer ticket. I was like, look, there's two of us that are fucked. Can't we both get in for free? They were having none of it.
Yeah,
we're helping each other.
when me and Lucy, because I didn't know the thing, when me and Lucy got the tickets for Sabrina Carpenter tickets are like, my standing was like 110.
Oh, you don't want to be standing and disabled.
No, exactly, we didn't. So I said to Lucy, I was like, I'll get you. So Lucy's got fibro.
Yeah.
It's like if she
so give the full name.
Fibromyalgia.
And how does that affect her?
It's a form of PTSD where her joints tense up.
Okay.
So she like at the minute she's having a flare up, so she can't leave bed.
Right.
Kind of thing. Yeah. It's like standing for God knows how long. Yeah. She can't do.
Is she? Does she spend a lot of time in a wheelchair?
She uses crutches.
Crutches, right? Okay. Yeah.
Which like she has a wheelchair.
Yeah.
It's like when we go to Sabrina, she's gonna have to be in a wheelchair.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
you go where? Sorry.
Sabrina, the concert.
Okay. Yeah.
But like if I'd got us 2-seated tickets, she would have been fine.
Right. Okay.
She just wouldn't have stood up. But we're better having her in the disabled section because it is cheaper.
That'll probably be better for you, won't it, as well, if you're 100%. Worried about like social anxiety and stuff like that, because it'd be a lot quieter. 100%. Yeah.
So I could get that ticket as well.
Yeah.
With what I've got.
Yeah.
But I'm more, because concerts are like the place where I'm like happiest. I'm always like, I want to be at the front.
Yeah, nice.
So I've never gone with disabled, but this is my first time doing it.
Yeah.
Mate, 15 quid each.
Oh, it's great. You get so many, mate, there are a lot of perks.
It's so good.
I'll give you a list afterwards, like, of all the free shit you can get. Yeah.
I am recommending getting a disabled person.
Getting a disabled person.
It's so good.
I'm recently single, so if there's any ladies out there that want a disabled one just to get free shit, hit me up.
Genuine. And like she's more attractive than me as well.
Oh, I know that. It's not hard though. Have you looked in the mirror?
It's great.
Yeah, no, you're definitely. In fact, I haven't seen the pictures. I'm just taking the piss to be nasty. How did you meet her?
Well, we met on a dating app.
Okay.
So it's do you know Bumble?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's that, but for people with fibro.
There's a whole dating app.
Yeah, it's called Tumble. Anyway,
you fucking dick. I was listening to that then. You fucking dick. I was fucking into that then. I was thinking, how many of these fuckers are there that want dates? Like, is there a fetish for it? All these questions we get, you fucking piece of shit.
There's POF as well. Plenty of falls.
Plenty of foreskin.
I remember the story. I was telling the story about getting fucking with social interaction.
Sorry, yes. Yeah, we digressed.
The ADHD is...
Mate, I think I got carried away with you then. I've got ADHD by proxy, I think.
So yeah, I went to it was the first concert I've been to. It was a YouTuber who did music as well. She's called Dodie. She's fucking great.
Yeah.
And I was a huge fan, so I was like, I'm gonna just go. And I went all the way to Birmingham to see her. Yeah. My mum was giving me a lift there and back. Someone was like, if you panic and need to come home, you just can.
Yeah.
And so I queued up afterwards to meet her, and I was like watching everyone else meet her. I feel like I'll just copy what they do.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I was like, okay, everyone's like giving her a hug. Yeah. Like, so she speaks first, and they speak, and then they give her. I was like, I can do this. I was there for 2.5 hours waiting to meet her.
Yeah.
And she got to me, and she went, "Oh, hi, what's your name?" And I went, "Oh, hi, I'm Sam. What's your name?" And she was like, "I'm Dodie." As if to go, "You've queued 2.5 hours. You don't know who I am."
Amazing.
So I was like, "Oh, I've just fucked up meeting my idol." So I was like, "What's everyone else giving her a hug? I'll give her a hug." So I gave her a hug, and then I realized everyone else had asked her.
Oh no!
So in her head,
I've
queued up 2.5 hours.
Oh no, I'm cringing for you.
And then I just fucking grabbed her.
Oh no!
And she doesn't do meet and greets anymore.
You put her off meeting and greeting.
I think
fucking hell, Sam. That's incredible behaviour. I fucking love that shit. That's fucking great. That is hilarious. Oh, excuse me. So how you met her? You met your girlfriend on a dating app?
Bumble. Yeah.
On Bumble, yeah.
She was she'd been on it for 10 minutes. I was the first person she matched with.
Wow.
And then she deleted it.
I was going to say you're the man then. I didn't, you know what I mean? You are the fucking, that's great.
But the thing is, like, she thinks they work.
What do you mean?
That was her first experience of dating app. She's like, these are great.
Yeah.
These work perfectly.
10 minutes, buff.
Yeah.
Done.
And I'm like, I want her to have, I'm very happy, and I hope she doesn't leave, but I want her to have more experience of a dating app.
Okay, yeah.
So she knows how lucky it is.
It's an absolute cesspit.
It's awful.
Yeah.
It's dreadful.
Yeah. A mate of mine got seriously catfished recently. Oh, fuck. So I'll show you the pictures afterwards. You might know the person actually. From Sheffield. I don't want to say the full name, just because I haven't got permission to tell the story. Joe. He's got an alias.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him.
Okay. Yeah. I got catfish as well once.
Did you? Tell me that. We've got a few minutes left, so tell me that.
He's pretended to be a woman.
Yeah.
And then he turned up and it was a guy.
I am sorry about that.
But I was thinking of, because he expected me to be like, oh no. Yeah. Well, I'd been catfishing him and pretend to be straight.
Amazing.
So
Amazing.
I still shagged him and he was like, this is not how I intended this to go.
That is probably the best catfish story ever in it. You know what? We'll call it that. I think that's a really nice time to end the public episode. You happy to stay around to do a bit more on the Patreon?
100%, man.
Excellent. We'll go and get those texts off your dad in a sec and we'll talk about them. Anything you plug in or any social? You're starting a podcast, aren't you?
Yes.
You started?
My podcast is Twink182.
Of course it fucking is.
It's such a good name.
Of course it is.
It's on YouTube and Spotify and everything. We've had drag queens come on. We've had like queer comedy. It's basically it's a queer comedy podcast, but anyone can enjoy it. And then my Instagram @ Serrano_comedian, and that's it really. Yeah. Just go follow me on there.
Yeah,
please.
give him a follow. He's a great comedian. If you see him on a poster, see them. I've done it again. See them on a poster. Go and watch them now. I'm a fucking terrible person, didn't I? We'll put all your socials in the comments and stuff.
Misgendering me, punching trans athletes in the face. I mean, no, if a trans athlete get punched in the face by you,
to be honest,
they weren't running away fast
enough. Yeah, exactly. If they deserve to be punched if I can catch them, to be fair. We'll put all your socials in the comments. Do give Sam a follow. If you've made it this long, do us a favor, sign up for the Patreon. It's patreon.com/unstablepod. Give a like, give a share, give a follow, tell all your friends, do subscribe, ignore this cunt. Do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, because as I say it every time, it really does help us. Helps us get out there, help spread the podcast, spread the message. Sam, thanks ever so much for coming on again.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you soon. Enjoy your week. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.